no song today, so just a prayer and then you're going to go?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start. Father Sky, Mother Earth, all our ancestors, all our relatives, we call to you at this time and we thank you. We thank you so very much for allowing us to be part of this most sacred circle. We ask Creator Most High, Most Divine, that you open our hearts to the message that you convey through our sister Shahawin. And we ask that we are receptive and we learn and we apply what you teach us through our sister. We love you and we thank you. Aho.
Amen. All right. So I was going to teach a class, and then, of course, Spirit changed it up. So we're going to talk about divine energy and divine will and divine right. And do all of y'all understand what that is?
God's will and not ours.
Well, yes, but it is your will too, because you have the divine right to be here. That's a birthright. And that's what we're talking about is the divine right. What is your divine right? Well, one of them is to be here. The next one is to be connected to everything. And we all play a part in the circle of life, right? Each of us have a place in it. And it is our birthright to be in it. Nobody can take that away from us. The only person that can take it away is yourself when you decide that you don't want to be a part of that vibration. And so you remove yourself out of the circle. One of the biggest things that we are supposed to be learning in our time in this lifetime is to be able to stay in the circle without having to remove yourself due to different other vibrations coming in the circle that you cannot handle. Because what are you supposed to learn from that? To raise your vibrational level so that you rise above any disturbance that is coming into your divine will, right? Sometimes you do have to walk and remove yourself from the energy. But most of the time, when you raise your vibrational level, that energy is going to fall away anyway. It can't connect to you. So every time you step out of it and push back, you are actually damming up the flow of creation and the flow of the energy pattern. And we're all supposed to be floating down that energy pattern, right? So with your divine will, you have your divine right to be able to see what is good for you and what is not good for you. But how do you change that? Have y'all ever thought about that? How do you really change it? Do you walk away from it, or do you adjust it within your own self so that you can rise above it and still walk in the same direction as everybody else is going? What is the proper way? How is the proper way to do that? Does anybody know?
I think things are meant to show us that areas we need to grow in and can grow in. And if we grow in that area, we'll vibrate higher.
Yes.
Meditation does a lot because it's us listening. And so we have to listen to where is that coming from when we want to be away from something. Is it coming from us?
You are correct. And see, most of us, when it's happening to us, did I freeze? Yes, most of us, that is correct. You have to listen. You have to listen to your inner self. And when this is going on, most of us are looking outward at what is happening around us. When we need to turn around and see what is taking place inside of us. What is making us feel like this? What is making us act like this? How can we adjust it so that, we can go back outward and feel safe? And really, that's what we're all learning right now. That's why all these obstacles are coming and hitting us in the face, is so that we will stop and become silent and look at ourselves and look at how to handle things. But the biggest thing, the very first thing to understand is you are a divine spirit. Okay? And you got to understand you are a divine spirit and you have a divine right to be here. You have a divine right to be and do whatever you want to do, as long as you don't allow your own way of looking at things to harm you. Because where does hurt come from? How do we get hurt?
Expectations.
We let it in and we have attachment to the outcome.
There you go. You own the feeling, right? And when you own the feeling, then you get to feel the hurt of it or whatever is coming from it. So one of the biggest things to look at within yourself is, are you owning an energy that's not yours? And if you're owning that energy and it's not yours, you need to let go of it and say, get away. You're not me. This isn't my divine stuff. Get on. You know, in the next 6 weeks, we're all in for some heavy duty lessons. And I don't think we'll be able to control these emotions that are going to come down through the waves that are being created right now. But we're in this week the time to really focus on what we're talking about tonight and work it through your program, through your own self. Because if not, you're going to get carried away and maybe drowned in this energy that's coming. And what I'm talking about, I know y'all have heard on the news about the food stamp office. You know, they're not going to be giving nobody food stamps next month. That's a lot of people that are going to, you know, trip out in their own emotions of how they're going to feed their family. It's going to be Thanksgiving, you know, holidays coming. So it's going to create, and trust me, this is all planned. This is a planned attack, and they're using fear to get it going. You know, but we've been talking for months now for all of us to gather up food, you know, have food in case you need it. Well, this might be the time, really, that you're going to need the food. We won't know until it happens. But the emotions are going to rise so hard that it's going to cause a lot of chaos. And through the grapevine, now whether this is true or not, we won't know until it comes. Walmart is already making plans that when nobody can get their food stamps, to stop people from rioting the food, they're going to close their doors and you're not going to be able to go in and go shopping. You're going to have to do it all online and they'll bring it out to your car. Now, if this really truly happens, this is part of the plan that they've got going on anyway to bring in the digital money and all of that stuff, you know, and keep people in alignment in their order that they want it done by. But they're going to corral all of us by fear and by taking away something that all of us really need, and that is what? A food source. Because what happens when you feel like you can't get your food? What's going to happen, really? And there's no way to balance that energy other than rise your vibration and tell yourself in your divine self that you're okay and that you can take care of yourself and that you can survive, because we all can survive, right? we've all had rough times, and you might have to go back to that within yourself to get through this upheaval of energy that's coming. And look, there's no way to stop it. It's already rolling down the hill. And once that energy gets pushed, we have to ride the waves. And there will be waves. Are y'all ready for that?
You've been teaching us how to surf for the last couple of years.
All right, because it's coming. And it's going to be hard on all of us. And that's when we're going to need the group the most, because we might have to get on here and just talk out our frustrations, because we are going to be frustrated about things. And that's where our support system will help a lot. So don't feel like you're over in a corner where you don't have anybody to talk to. You know that you can reach out. Know that you can put it up on the new self-love. Hey, we need a class. I need to talk. And maybe all of us can come up in there, and do a Zoom class, because right now, what's going to be taking place, we're going to need that support system. And we're going to need to know that we have somebody we can talk to. We might not can change anything, but as long as you have somebody to talk to that can understand and not judge. Okay, that's another thing of divine will. You should not have no judgment on how anybody else feels, because that's their feelings. The only thing that you can have control over, or can, guide yourself with, is your own feelings. That's your divine right. And, if you're not feeling good, then go in and find out what is causing you not to feel good. What is it? Have you took on somebody else's energy because they said something to you and that was their version of how they felt about you, but you took it on and owned it? And so it made you feel bad? Well, then that's not yours, is it? You need to give that energy back and go, oh, that's not how I feel. This is me. This is how I am. I know how I feel. Oh, I feel pretty good right now. And we all need to really start getting back to that, getting back to our true selves and our nature, because this energy is not nothing to play with. I know each and every one of y'all, and we'll go down the list. Tell me what type of energy you've been dealing with this week, and how did you deal with it? How'd you handle it? Mia, you want to start? I'm gonna put you on the spot.
It has been kind of a roller coaster. I've had some ups and some downs, and I've been healing, not sick. I'm healing.
There you go. And yes, you got to change the vibration.
Right. So, I felt like there was negative energy coming at me, but I did recognize it, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna send it right back. Add some love to it, but send it back. But yeah, I've noticed that these people that are on food stamps, it's gonna be hard, and my heart goes out, and I'm just trying to think of what I can do. When times get tough, I don't know. It's almost a helpless feeling, but at the same time, there's always a little something that can be done to make it better.
Yes, and one of the things is holding the vibration of love. Even though we can't give them food and we know they're hungry, if you hold that higher vibration of love and everything, and you're sending it out, trust me, it has to come back. The negative energy is only here for a season, okay? It only stays as long as it has something to vibrate to. So even though you don't feel like you're doing something, when you just send love and send vibration, good vibration out, you're doing a lot more, and that can move the energy faster than giving them food. So you need to see that you are doing something, because that's gonna help the energy push out even stronger, because you are doing something. Does that make sense? Because it's an action with intention. Okay. And with that, you manifest, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I need to apply that to work.
Well, yes, and everything. Okay, we're going to go. Susan, has anything happened to you this week that you had to recent?
I've had, it's weird. I can hear myself talk. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Um, it's funny you mentioned that. We talk about the energy changing, and it's like a rise for the collective. Um, a lot of churches and different places have been starting up food pantries, and it's going to be bad. It's just fear. The fear is just, um, I've had people calling me from where I used to live, over 100 miles away. And I was a minister there. And they're calling me to find out what the food is.
Right.
It's like, um, I don't even really know what's in my area. I mean, I can't provide food for people, but the calls are already coming in. Elderly people that I know need a ride to the food pantry. There's a big food pantry coming up here the first week in November, and it's one of those Thanksgiving food pantries where they give you a turkey, and I don't know all what they get out here. I keep telling people I'm retired and I'm no longer in ministry. And it's like nobody hears it. So I understand you can't go there with your walker and carry all your stuff. You know what I mean? So I signed up, you know, and to do 2 runs next week, Thursday and Friday. They have them on different days. But I think we're going to see the general people rise, and we may find out that we are much better than what any government can provide if we really all step up. Um, government provisions are not the alpha and the omega. They're inconsistent, you know, um, over controlled, stuff like that. So, um, but it is kind of scary. And I really feel for people. There's a lot of old people walking around. They get these, food boxes, um, all that kind of stuff. So that's all I can do to help. And normally I would say, I'm retired, I'm not in ministry anymore. And yeah, right.
Okay. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to protect yourself from this energy?
What am I going to do?
Yeah, to
Hey, I
protect.
saw something the other day that a fish can line themselves with plastic
Mucus.
to
Yeah.
sleep at night. It's a new kind of fish. So I think I'm going to turn into a fish. And it's a state of mind, right?
Right. Well, let me give you a heads up, okay? Something that will help each and every one of us uh, uh, through all of this is when these emotions are hitting you and you're trying to help other people or trying to find a way to help other people or just make it better for yourself. If you can remember not to take ownership and own the emotion that is hitting you, okay, at that time, you'll be able to get through it a lot better. Because once you take ownership of it, it becomes your feelings, and those feelings will bring your vibration down.
Okay,
And
and that's
you'll end
the
up,
energy that's out there. Okay.
yes, and then you'll be in that flow of vibration because that's where they want to put us. It's mind control. It's part of mind control. Um, and look, you can agree to it within your body's emotional system before you even realize you've agreed to it. So you have to be in attendance in your thought process to be in awareness of what you're taking on. And if you're going to help others, make sure you're not taking on the emotion with it, okay? Because you can separate yourself from that emotion and carry yourself forward. There's a lot. Jim, thank you, Susan. Jim, have you went through anything that you had to deal with emotionally? That you're this past week.
Yeah, Tuesday morning was hell. Just plain hell. It was oppressive and negative. I just basically struggled through it until, by afternoon, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it was letting up. But that's the way I dealt with it. Now later on, I was looking at my Facebook page, and I've got a site that comes on every once in a while that mentions the Schumann resonance.
Right.
When it goes kind of off the charts. And Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon I saw it, but they had registered this. The resonance was way off for Tuesday morning, but I just persevered, if you want to put it that way, and got through it. But off and on all this week, there have been various times where I could feel a pressure that was, I don't even know how to put it. It just felt like pressure. And it was most noticeable in my lack of ability to breathe. I've got bad lungs as it is, and there are certain things that aggravate it, and its energy fields can do that. A heavy energy field or a strong energy field can manifest itself in my inability to breathe. And I had some really good times. Tuesday morning, I struggled all Tuesday morning to catch my breath. And there's been a couple of times since then, but basically I just persevere, if you will, until it comes out the other side.
Yeah. Are you paying attention to make sure you're not owning the emotion that you're feeling?
No.
I want you to pay attention I want you to really pay attention to that, because if it is not your emotion but your body is responding to it as your emotion, then once you realize it's not your emotion, you can probably bounce it off of you a lot quicker. It doesn't mean you ain't gonna feel it, because you're gonna feel it hitting you. But once you do that, that pressure that you've been feeling won't be so hard on you.
Okay. I'll have to figure that out because up until fairly recently, I didn't feel that stuff. I mean, when we first started doing this, or I first started getting on here, we talked, and I said at that time that I don't feel or recognize moving in spirit now.
But you remember what I
Fairly,
told you, right?
well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
fairly recently that has changed, and I'm becoming more sensitive to it. Not that I'm understand it,
well,
you know,
yes,
at all much yet, but
that shows that you're growing and becoming aware of who you are.
uh,
Okay, and to
okay.
find out, okay, and to find out who you are, and your divine right, your divine spirit, you have to go in and adjust yourself and adjust your energy, and that's when you say, is this my energy or is it somebody else's? If it's somebody else's, get off of here, you know. But you have to go in and talk to yourself because you're growing, and so you're realizing that. So give yourself kudos.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a bit scary.
It is
You
scary. It is scary, but it's a wonderful thing, and that's how you know that you're not just stuck in energy. You're moving, you're flowing with the energy, and as you're flowing, you're growing. you know,
know.
that's the
Yeah.
important thing.
Damn, at my age, all this shit. Whew.
Oh yeah, but it's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. Well, thank you. Okay, Pam, you're next.
Oh boy. Well, it's been a rough week for me, obviously. Uh, I realize that I go back and as a child, and there was a lot of times when I was always left out of the book, and everybody else was chosen first, and I was last on the list. It was one of those things that I learned a pattern in my mind to think that nobody wanted me, or nobody wanted to accept me, or I didn't belong anywhere. And what I've learned most of all, I think, is that, I mean, I've been working on it for, probably the last, 6 years or whatever, trying to see myself from the inside and not from the outside. Okay. And instead of looking for approval or acceptance from other people, going inside and meditating, because when I do that, it helps, because I can hear the spirit speak to me then, when I meditate or I pray. So instead of getting upset about what everybody else thinks about me, then instead I look to myself and look to my heart and know that I am a divine being and I belong to the Creator. And I mean, I use this chant that I and the Father are one, so my soul and is one with the light, and one with the divine, so when I focus on that, I know that I'm loved and I don't need everybody else to love me. So it's a little easier to that seems to be what I'm doing to adjust to the energy, and the other thing I do is call Shahawin and treat her like shit. I didn't do that though. I hope not.
You're
But she
okay.
listens, I'm okay, but sometimes I'm afraid that something's going to happen, and
Well,
that happened this week where I was really afraid.
yes, but we got through it, didn't we?
Yes, we did, and I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful.
Yeah,
Um,
and see, and it goes back to the biggest thing is we got to really work on taking ownership out of the energy pattern that's coming in. Don't own this
mhm,
energy if it's not yours. If it's hitting
yeah.
you and it's not yours, don't own it, because guess what? If you own it, it's going to take you for a roller coaster ride. And
Hmm.
the type of energy that's coming in right now, It's a warning. Warning. If you're not careful, you will get sucked into this energy and you might not be able to come back out. Okay? So it's very important to be in awareness, because that's what they want to do. They want to drown the people that are aware, that are helping the other people. And, you know, some people can go in and spiritually and pull you out. But these waves are getting too hard for those people to even do it. You know, so you've got to do the best you can and be on guard. It's your time.
Yeah.
It's your time to be awake, to be alive, to understand, hey, you got this. It's your birthright. Nobody has the right to tell you can't do it. You can't be here, because you are here.
Yeah.
You know,
and I have a right to be here, and I deserve to be here because I belong to the Creator. I have a divine right.
Everybody does.
Everybody does. Yeah.
It doesn't matter who knows it, as long as you know it, and as long as you go inside and take your stand for yourself instead of trying to do it on the outwardly, because everybody's doing it on the outwardly, and guess what? These waves are going to hit them, and it's going to take them right on down the river, and they're going to drown.
Yeah, that's what I realized, is that you have to go inward in order to find the things you need, because you're not going to find them out there, especially if everybody's starting to get crazy.
Well, the reason why you go in is because you're putting your roots down in your foundation. If you don't put the roots there, guess what's going to happen when the winds come and the waters come? You're going to roll right on down with them. So it's up to you. Nobody can do it for you. I mean, you can be told many, many times, I told you to do that. Why did you listen? Well, nobody can tell you to do that. You have to do it for yourself. You have to love yourself enough to know that solitude and quietness at the time that you need it is the right time to do it. And nobody can take that away from you. Go in there and find yourself, because that's it. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sherry, tell me about your problems.
Okay. I just kind of wanted to backtrack a little bit and say something that have helped me along the way, and then I'll talk about this week.
All right, that sounds good.
So when I grew up, I was bullied. I was the last one for sports. They all came in and you know, if I had to play, they picked different sports through PE, and if it was time for me to hit the ball with the bat, everyone got in closer, and I wasn't good at sports, and I was picked on for a lot of reasons, but I always minded my own business and didn't understand why. I always listened to those outside voices, and then at some point I wasn't in school anymore, didn't find it relevant, but I learned to stop listening to those outside voices. And then I learned I was an empath, so I'm even more susceptible to people's energy. And so I found it really important to have that time alone, and to regroup with myself is really important and really valuable. And I have to be careful, because I work at a cancer center now, so I have to be aware of, they're not picking up on their stuff too, because, sometimes it feels inevitable. But it's more who is around me. I pick up on their stuff a lot. So, but this last week, so I'm only working part-time because I wanted to go to school and focus on getting some things out of the way educationally, and I'm starting to feel the repercussions of only working part-time. So, and it can quickly feel like it can go into worry and not having enough, and I keep reminding myself that I have a support team and to listen to Creator and to, give it, and something will figure itself out. And so, but yeah, I can, and if it's getting to be like that,
So you're kind of like being, I see that as you're being tested to see if you can put your faith, have your faith that, Creator has your back, and He does. Because He's trying to make you strong in that so that you don't doubt yourself and that you don't have these worries and hold on to them. So that's good.
and it's a lot when you've been on your own for a long time
Oh, yes.
to bring your worries to,
It's a trust.
yeah. And even though I have a wonderful partner, it's something to myself that I'm like, oh, I always have to do this. I always have to do this because I didn't have someone I could rely on before. So it's a lot for me to rely on someone.
Right. And see, if you look at it as a tree, you're grafting your roots together.
Oh.
And because of it being grafted, that's where if the hard part comes, because you don't know if it's going to take until the root actually gets into the wholeness of it, into your foundation. So that's what you're doing. That's why you're feeling that energy. But it's awesome, isn't it? If you think about it, it's scary, but it's also growth. It is. That's how you can see that you're growing.
Yeah, I got some good advice.
And sometimes, growing is painful. That's why they call it growing pains.
Yeah.
And that's why they call it birthing pains when you're trying to birth out a new ideal and stuff. And it's hard. Well, because you're moving energy. Are you okay there, Sherry?
Yeah, I think I had some facial oil and I got it in my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
No, it's stinging. A mascara.
All right. So anyway, energy wise, y'all, and you be assertive within yourself and pay attention this week. Get you a notebook and write down, your emotions that you're feeling, and make sure that you can recognize what type of ownership you're doing with it. Are you owning it, or are you letting it flow? Because when you have an emotion, you should look at that emotion and accept it if it's your emotion and say, yeah, I feel like this. Because it's okay to be mad. It's okay to be sad. But it's not okay to wallow in it. Because when you wallow in it, that's when you take the ownership of victimhood. And that has been a bad pattern in a lot of us growing up, to become the victim. It's a lot easier to be the victim than to walk out into the unknown of what not being the victim is. Well, that's called being the victorious person, being the victor. But if you've never walked in it, yes, Rodney, we're coming to you. If you've never walked in it, you'll never know it. Take it away, Rodney.
There's a few things. Every day I start the day in prayer, and then as I'm going to work, I also say a prayer, and I ask to be filled with compassion and for people to feel the divine through me and Sherry when we interact with them. And they've been telling me, so are you compassionate when you think about people this way? Well, not really. So like I've learned that it's not just how we speak or act, it's how we think. So the very thoughts, I can't, judge people. And I mean, one thing that they're telling me is you work in an SMI environment. Take that as a consolence that people that you think maybe are not behaving whatever way, morally, whatever, it's SMI. think of it like that. If it makes it easier for me, right? And did Reiki on Friday. Woohoo, that was really fun. And I made sure that I couldn't do a sage smudge, so I did a sound smudge on people to clear
There you
the
go.
energy, and then I would do a scan on them. And there was quite a few people talking and being worried. So I'm really doing Reiki to help them with that, to not feel the anxiety and have peace wash over them and stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, we might be a little bit tighter, but we still are prosperity and abundance in all areas of our lives. We really are not lacking anything. We just don't have as much disposable income. And I just feel like I'm in a position where I think that's all of our goals, is to reach a level where we're helpers. And I feel, to Creator be all the glory, that working at Ren and facilitating all those groups, and now being able to do Reiki, is I let Creator guide the way. There's a good indigenous saying, is in these times of change and turmoil, as that river is raging, don't hold on to the bank where the trees are crashing in and the bank's giving away. Push out into the middle and go with the current. Mm-hmm. Like, just keep your head above water. And I think another way that what I'm also having to do when I'm interacting with people and they're emotionally distraught is we really need to know what it means to hold space, right? You're there for them, you support them, but we don't want to get emotionally attached to any outcome, because, like, that could be karma. It could be something we can help with, but we don't get attached to an outcome. So I've been feeling good. I've been feeling grateful, and I'm actually looking forward to work where I get to help people. I feel like I'm finally doing what I was called and saved and brought back from being dead to do.
Well, I just texted Elizabeth to check on her, and she forgot. She's been cleaning her house and stuff, and she says, "Is it too late for me to come on?" So I don't know. She might hop on and say hi to everybody.
Shahawin.
So she said to tell everybody hello, and she's sorry. She'll see you next week. Go ahead, Redbird.
You've been talking about all of this energy, and I had a near-death experience about 8 years ago, and the after effects were pretty bad. And I would walk by a clock, they would stop. I couldn't wear a watch. I put a watch on, it would stop. I would blow up my phone. I would blow up the kitchen appliances. Okay. I touched the toaster and it would blow up. And so if somebody got too close to me, I got a video reel of the person's life, But the energy has changed, I got really squirrely and had to go and see a doctor. I wore rubber sole shoes and gloves for a long time because I couldn't touch anything. Well, I just hit my 8-year mark, and oh my God, life is so much better, but it's coming back. The energy is coming back. My watch quits working and I take it off and it'll start working, and it'll go in and out. The same thing with my phone. And computers glitching. The sewing machine, I don't know, the computer is like, it'll do switches and stuff, and I still, I'm back to being really weird again. I was in Walmart the other day in the register and got a video reel of the person in front of me, and they say all of that is normal, but you're supposed to recover from it after 7 years. And I thought I had. but it is coming back. So it's not just the collective that's bringing on the energy. It's coming from somewhere else too.
Well, yeah, and what you're stating that's happening to you is a gift. Okay, that does not go away. It just gets stronger. The more it opens up, the stronger it gets. And so, you seeing these reels of other people's life, um, is something that's going to be happening more often to you, and you will have to find a way to
Well,
you
I
know
was told that it takes 7 years to recover from it.
well, what are you
I thought I
recovering?
had it made.
No, but see, that's just it. You're not recovering from anything, okay? Because that is not part of your recovery.
Okay.
That is a gift that you have. It's not recovery. And what's happening is your gift is opening up, and and you're going to be able to flip it on and flip it off in a way that it doesn't bother you as bad once it comes online completely, if that makes any sense.
Well, I have gone back to like wearing gloves, um, because I can't touch just anything. Um,
If you don't mind, Rodney, can you help Susan with that? I know you can help her a little bit. I have got to take a break real quick, and I'll be right back.
oh, okay.
Excuse me.
I think
Yeah.
Susan, all I can think is you go to Susan and hear the redbirds sing. That's what they said to me is like you know Ted Silverhand.
I've never met him. I've seen him on Facebook, and I've heard that he has special gifts. He's like a seer or something like
Tuscarorean. Yeah,
that.
he's done readings for Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, Latoya Jackson, Cher. He's like one of the famous. And it's, because you haven't had this gift since you were a child, it's not as easy to make part of your life. If you grew up with it, it would be different. It would always be there. But since it's just been revealed to you recently, I think we're reaching a point, reasons why we're here. And one of the reasons when all crap hits the fan is people are going to need to have faith and strength and hope. And you being able to, like, you do the Spock mind meld on them. It's like you touch them and you can see their life and you can offer them guidance.
Yeah.
So like Shahawin is getting it, it's not, you're not going to be cured of a gift that you've been blessed with. I think you should embrace it. And
I didn't recognize it as a gift. I really didn't. I mean, because at first, it was on steroids and it was scary. Um, and I remember, um, you know, when I died, and I was in the light, and it was angels and just beautiful light and everything. And this one angel came up to me and spoke to me and said, "Would you like to go to school?" And I said, "Yes, I'd love to go to school. And I think I'm going to go to school in some little brick building down the road, Here I am back here, go to school with, with you and everybody else. But um, they were so pronounced and so. Did you have these after you had your near death experience?
no, no.
No? Okay. Well, I almost fainted a few times. So, the gift part is debatable, but at least I'm not on steroids. I
Have you prayed about it? Have you asked for guidance on it?
yeah.
One thing
And
I did pray
ask
before you
God
go
to
to
slow
bed.
it down. Don't give me the flash with no options.
Mhm.
You're so
When I,
good, girl.
when I was first learning spirituality, and I'd asked the Navajo medicine woman to fast track me, they put me in University, and I was not getting any rest at night, like none. And she said, "Well, tell them that you need rest." And so I did. I says, at least 50% of the night, let me sleep, let me get rest, or I'm not going to be any good to anybody. And that was it. That I got the rest, and the learning continued. So just let them know what, you sort of set parameters, Susan. It's like you
Yeah.
tell them what level, and help them to let you learn how to, like, do you need to wear a certain stone? Do you need to say a certain prayer? To
Yeah.
protect you from that. Because, we can make a sacred object, right? And when you wear that object, you're protected from any of that. And when you take it off, you're open to it. Things like that. But I would just ask them for guidance.
And see, that
Yeah.
goes back to that goes back to divine will. Okay, because
Yeah.
you're really in control of everything as long as you go within yourself. If you try to do it on the outside, it's going to become chaotic. But if you do your inside into your foundation and tell them what you need, tell them you're going to get it. You're going to receive all of it.
I had an elderly woman come up to me not today, this week, at the local restaurant. We call it the local greasy spoon. We always eat there. It's Bellaria. It's an Italian place. She come up to me and she said, "You look so beautiful. Can I hug you?" And I was like, "What?" And I said, "Sure." It was like, I don't know. The old me would have been like, "Oh, this is weird." But I gave her a big hug and she thanked me and everything. And, she's like, "You have a nice day." And I'm like, "Well, you too." It was just different. It was
Susan,
different.
she saw your wings.
Yeah, she saw
She
your
saw
aura.
my what?
Wings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wings.
yes.
Okay. I thought you
Her
said
inner,
wind as
her,
WIND.
yes, her energy connected to your energy, and she just wanted. She was so grateful to it. She wanted to hug it.
Yeah.
You know.
And so I've got to pay attention too. I've
Yes,
got
it's
to pay
important.
attention in my surroundings and not just walk around unplugged either, you
Right.
know. Um,
Because we're all growing, we're all changing,
yeah,
we're all doing it at a different pace. We're going down the same road in the same direction, but each one of us is at a different vibrational time and scale on the piano. We're going ding dong, ding ding ding. You know, uh, but we're all allowed to be in this circle.
yeah,
Because we are connected, and 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 to understand that, that's where the love comes in. That it's okay to be different, and also okay to fit in. You know, it's the balance of all of it, and being okay with it,
yeah,
and understanding. That's the love, is understanding it's okay, everything's all right. And what a great class tonight. What did y'all think? Y'all liked it? I liked it. We all have a lot to work on, because these coming days are going to be they're the test. If we can make it through what's coming, we've got it, y'all. Because
Thank you. Thank you. It's very helpful. I just want to say that.
yeah, because see, they're fueling us with fear And they're going to create, okay, through the fear, they're going to create through the action of taking away the food, the outcome, which is going to be very chaotic, and people, people are going to go insane. Some of them, it's just the way the dominoes is going to fall. But if we can rise above it and just, carry it forward, we might be saying the same thing Jesus said on the cross: "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." Even that energy is going to help change the energy vibration, because it's about changing the vibration. The more vibration you can put out there, remember, like-minded energy attracts like-minded energy. So to keep whatever's happening that they're participating in right now, we're going to have to rise above it to change that energy. Okay? We can't change the circumstances. We've got to change the energy so that switch flips on. And we might, show them something different, just like Susan said. We don't know. There's a lot of people. If we all stand up together, we can do it. And we won't know until that time comes, really, what's going to take place. But that's my class for tonight, y'all. It wasn't real long, but it was very important to talk about. And I hope each and every one of y'all go and look, become quiet, get in your quiet zone, and talk to yourself about ownership and about how you feel. And is the way you're feeling right now your energy? Like, I've had energy hit me all day today that of unhappiness. It's not depression, just unhappiness. And I'm like, this isn't mine. And I went in and asked, is this mine? Is it coming from deep, something that I haven't recognized? And of course, no, it's not mine. It's on, it's out here spinning around and hitting me. But it's a big heaviness of it coming.
I've enlisted the help of rocks recently with all that.
They can help.
Selenite.
Oh, yeah, selenite is the best wonder of the world, let me tell you. Yes, use your tools, honey. Use trees, use your stones, because it's all connected in the circle. And if you connect, guess what? It's part of your foundation. It makes your foundation that much stronger, and you can rise up. What's that song? We'll rise up. We'll rise up again. You know that song? Yeah, that's what we're doing. And it's wonderful to know that we're not doing it by ourselves. Everybody in this class is rising up. We might not feel like we're rising some days, because we do fall down and go boom, boom. Even me, I need picking up sometimes too, But we're all here. We all love each other. And we all understand that we're trying to achieve love and higher vibration. And that's what it's all about. And I'm going to get off of here, y'all. And I love each and every single one of you. And I hope you have a wonderful
Love
week.
you too, Shahawin. Love everybody here.
Look, if y'all need me, just text me. I'm just a call away.
Did you want me to close in prayer?
Yes.
All right. Love y'all. Father Sky, Mother Earth, all our ancestors, all our relatives, we call to you at this time, and we thank you so very, very much for allowing us to be part of this most sacred circle, for the calmness and love and joy that you've washed over each and every one of us, for the healing and for the growth and for the guidance that you give us through our sister Shahawin, and we are grateful and we thank you. We ask that you watch over each of us throughout this week, protect us, comfort us, and fill our hearts with your spirit, and help us walk in a way that is pleasing in your sight. We love you and we thank you. Aho.
Oh.
Love you. See y'all next week.
Take care.
Have a good
Yep.
week, everybody.